Today the dollar is a world reference whether to quote the purchasing power of a country's currency, or to quote Bitcoin, gold and especially oil. In fact, you can only buy oil using US dollars. But how did the dollar manage to achieve the status of the dominant currency of the world economy? In this video we are going to talk about exactly that. We will show you every detail of how this currency became the most important in the world and fundamental to the global economy. And if you want videos like this every day, subscribe to the channel to receive our daily videos. The best of the global economy, geopolitics and curiosities of the economic world you see here. My name is Gabriel, and welcome to the Swift Economy channel. The dollar has not always occupied this level of international reference. During the second half of the 19th century, for example, the most respected currency in the world was the pound sterling, from England, then the great world power. And as incredible as it may seem, the dollar appeared as the last option to assume the position as the most important currency in the world. This was explained by the fact that the United States was, at that time, unreliable international debtors and endowed with a non-unified monetary system. But this all changed shortly after the First World War, 1914 to 1918, with England reaching its limit as the leading country in the global economy and the United States beginning to participate more actively in foreign trade. However, only years later, after the second major confrontation that left scars in the history of countries and in the history of the world, the American currency became the currency anchor. The dollar became a monetary reference especially after the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, when the United States, already clearly the main world economic power, financed the reconstruction of Europe and Japan, especially Europeans, have become more dependent on American products, which made the currency extremely strong in a short period of time. Even more surprising happened at that time. England went from creditor to debtor in the post-war period, ceding to the USA the leadership position of the international monetary system. A curiosity is that the name dollar comes from the German word thaler, an old silver coin minted for the first time in 1518. It must be taken into account that at the time when the Bretton Woods Agreement was broken and the convertibility of the dollar into gold reached its definitive end. Remembering that the main objectives of the Bretton Woods Agreement were to promote economic cooperation, facilitate international trade, standardize exchange rate policies and build a multilateral financial system among countries and government to pay its debts. From this moment, we have the dollar that we know until today. When convertibility to gold was cut off, it was agreed that oil could only be purchased with US dollars. As oil is the most demanded commodity in the world, it is easier to understand why the dollar is the dominant currency. In addition, many contracts are in US currency outside the US, which has strengthened the currency even more to this day. Aside from oil, the US is the biggest economy in the world and also has the biggest military power. The Americans managed to do something similar to the Pax Romana and Pax Britannica periods, in which an empire was able to establish world hegemony without being disturbed, something like a forced peace. Also because it is easy to imagine what the world would be like with other powers like Russia, Israel and North Korea doing whatever they want, it would be a disaster. But that is not the focus of this video. The fact is that despite the recent crisis affecting the world, especially the United States, it is unlikely that the dollar will cease to be a monetary reference, at least in the short or medium term. We should point out that loss of influence can occur if countries decide to share the risks, but it is very likely that the status of the US currency will remain unchanged and extremely powerful for a long time. If you liked the video, leave that super like to motivate us to continue bringing videos like these to you every day. And in your opinion, do you think the dollar will last forever or is its days numbered as the main international currency? Comment below and I guarantee that I will read and answer you. Thanks for watching so far, a big hug and until the next video.